Good evening and welcome to another socially distant lockdown edition of Monday Movies, coming to you from a spare room in Wycombe Marsh and bedrooms in Gerrards Cross and Downley. I'm Duncan Strip and I'm joined by Mr. Luke Davis, High Wycombe's answer to Baby Yoda, in that he's small, odd looking and no one knows what the point of him actually is, and Toby Stubbs, Gerrard Cross's answer to the Mandalorian, only whereas while everyone tries to get him to remove his mask, today we're all trying to persuade Toby to wear one, as he's decided to have a change of image. Good evening, you both.
Good evening, you sir.
How are we both?
Good, thank you.
Good.
So, Toby, would you like to describe for the people not watching on the live stream your change of image this week?
I thought I would jump on the isolation bandwagon, but people are, changing their appearance, and I've dyed my hair blonde. Well, I attempted to, anyway.
Do you regret it?
Well, if you asked me that the day after, I would have said yes. But now I've kind of got used to it, and when I FaceTime people and they're like, "Oh," I forget I've done it. But yeah, it's gonna probably go back brown.
Welcome to my world. I've not dyed.
Oh,
good start. You've not dyed your hair since when?
Sorry, since when? Sorry, Duncan.
Da 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 da. What Duncan was probably going to say was, if you want to get involved and tell us what you've seen, then you can do that via giving us a call 01494 449900 on WhatsApp. You can email the studio@wycombsound.org.uk, or you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook we're Wycombe Monday Movies, and on Twitter we're at Wycombe Sound. And on the Wycombe Sound's Facebook page, we are live right now, so you can see Toby's blonde hair. I look like I'm in Wycombe Sound Studio 1 again, because I decided 20 minutes before the show started, or drive time started, to change my bedroom round, so this now works. So there you go. And Duncan's back.
Hi,
Hello.
welcome back.
Welcome back.
Sorry, I just nipped off because, I don't know, internet problems.
The internet died for you, yeah.
Yes, anyway, where have we got to?
I've just said how people can get in contact.
Excellent. Right, well, on this week's show, we have got the Home Entertainment Top 10. We'll look at the film news, which will include a possible date for the reopening of cinemas, and of course,
what we've been watching!
And believe it or not, Luke has seen some films. Not one, not two, not three, not even four, but 5 films.
Yeah.
Half of his annual quota of films
it's true,
has been watched in 1 week. So the midsection of this show, me and Toby are just going to sit back, get a cup of tea, relax, and listen to the dulcet tones of Luke Davis as he tells us what he thought of the films.
What more?
Now, we know what you've seen, but we don't know what you thought of them, so it'll be interesting.
Shall I give the clues to everybody that I gave you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Hammer on Fire, Yellow Mouse, Black Spider, and Cowboy.
I think I got 2.5 out of 4.
You got 2.5, yeah, you gave up on one of them.
I did, yeah. But there we go. So lots of what Luke's been watching a little bit later.
It's very exciting.
Exciting. Yeah, it is. I'm thrilled.
And a half, well, not really a half, a quarter one, which will come up in the home entertainment chart.
Oh, you've watched a quarter of something?
Yeah.
Is that because
the ending of it?
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say you hated something, so you stopped watching after 15 minutes.
I came into the end of it.
Okay, right. Should we do the home entertainment top 10?
Shall we? Let's start.
There's not a lot of changes. We'll probably get through this quite quickly because it's much of a muchness. But go on.
We will start with Toby. This week's number 10, Joker.
As I say every week, my favourite film of last year. It's by Todd Phillips, who also directed The Hangover. He's done quite a few comedies, and this is his first serious film. I think the cinematography is amazing. The acting is incredible. The script is very, very good. The storyline's great. And I think it's a very powerful film. It has a lot of themes that it addresses, such as like mental health. But I think overall it's a very powerful film, and I came away feeling very weird after I watched it.
I think a lot of people did. You did, Duncan, didn't you?
No, but I thought Toby was very weird after I watched it. So it's very, very similar. I agree. Yes, it's very good. It's been hanging around in the top 10 for quite some time. But yeah, I agree.
Did it get to number 1? Was it a number 1?
Yes, it did. Yeah. I keep saying I'm going to watch it again, and I have not got round to it, but I will. As soon as it goes down to a $1.99 rental.
Wow. This week's number 9, Doctor Who, Series 12.
Yeah, very unusual for a DVD box set to get into the top 10, but I presume season 12 is the one that was on last year with Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. I'm guessing. I don't know.
I
I'm
watch
not a
it and I still
child,
don't know.
so I don't watch Doctor Who, but yeah, very exciting. Do you watch it?
I do.
No.
I think there was a lot of worry, if that's the right word, about Jodie.
Worry?
Wally.
Worry?
Worry.
Worry?
Yeah, like panic.
You mean worry?
Worry.
Worry.
Worry?
Worry.
That's better.
Worry.
Worry.
Worry. I'm worrying.
Yeah.
Worry. Oh, yeah.
You don't say I'm worrying.
I'm really worried.
I do. That's just me now. There was lots of worry over Jodie being the Doctor.
The Doska.
Oh dear! Over being the Doctor.
It's quite worrying that you're going to be doing most of the talking later. Just say.
About her being the Doctor. This is her second series.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's very good.
Good.
I think
Good.
the
Let's
right...
move on because this isn't a film and no one cares. So it's
No,
Doctor
you
Who.
don't care.
This is a film chart. We're supposed to be. Moving on.
Downton Abbey, which is based on a TV program. So let's move on.
But it's actually a film, and it's very good. If you like the TV series, you will like the film. If you didn't like the TV series, this isn't going to change your mind because it's just a bigger version of that. But it's very good.
You will cry when you hear the theme music.
Well, I did. It's just I don't know. It's just me. It's a Pavlovian dog reaction. You know, to the theme tune just makes me cry. I don't know why.
Psychology throwback right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He did
I just learned that in
psychology.
psychology.
Oh, you did psychology?
Yeah.
For A level. That was one of the studies we had to.
I believe I said
write
Pavlova's dog, and that's wrong, isn't it? It's Pavlov's dog.
Pavlov's dog. Yeah.
Pavlova is a dessert.
I was going to say.
Duncan's just hungry again.
I was close. It's Pavlov's dog. And I said it's a Pavlov dog reaction. But what is the Pavlov dog?
Yeah, I think this is right, but it's where the dogs they would put on certain boots to make a noise, and then they would feed the dogs, and over time the dogs would get so used to hearing the noise of the boots coming, they know they're about to get fed, so they'd start salivating.
Excellent. Psychology on
Psychology.
Sound.
There you go.
Who saw that coming?
Excellent.
This week's number 7, Knives Out.
Very good.
Really want to see this. Funny enough, it's a little intel I found the other night. I went on the PlayStation store, and they are renting movies. I think Knives Out's on there. Yeah.
Have they done
Knives Out.
Have they done that before, or is that something new?
No, they've always done it.
Have they? Okay.
Yeah, I think they've always done. Oh well, I've only. So I went on because I really want to see Knives Out. I think it's £4.50 for a rental, so I'm going to do that.
It's strange because the company I work for obviously sell to all these companies, and you get the reports on how well certain films are doing. And on PlayStation, it's blokey action films. Anything else does nothing at all because it's mostly blokes playing action games. Yeah. So.
Yes, sir.
You know what you're talking about.
I kind of do.
Playing games.
To be fair, I wouldn't think to go on there to watch a film.
No.
But there was a lot of newish stuff on that. I mean, the other one was £10. I think it's an actual, not a rental. It's actually for the film. Was The Invisible Man. That's another film.
I think all the new ones go on to PlayStation.
Yeah.
I think as rentals when they come out. Yeah,
that's pretty good. And you can get
Excellent.
standard definition and high definition. I think the high definition is an extra £2.
Do you work for PlayStation and Sony now?
No.
What's going on?
None of this is
not an
new
ad.
information.
It is for Toby.
No, you know when you rent a film on Sky, you can pick standard definition or high definition as well.
Well, I don't have Sky, so
no. Have you just got PlayStation and you're quite excited or something?
Well, a few months ago, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm in isolation, so I'm
He's
playing
using
it a lot.
You know what,
Yeah.
Toby? I'm getting more and more used to you having not brown hair very quick. It's like you've always had blonde hair. or golden hair. Yeah.
We'll grow out.
You to be honest, you look less like a rock band member now, more like a boy band member.
That is true. Yeah, can you just start clicking your fingers and just do
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
stand up in the key change?
Not really what I'm going for.
No.
I would expect you less. I would expect you less to have a guitar or drums in your hand than I would to be sitting
Just
on
a
a
microphone.
stool
Yeah.
with a microphone
With a
swaying
smoke machine.
slightly. Yeah.
Moving on. This week's number 6, Spies in Disguise.
Haven't seen it. It's an animation with Will Smith and Tom Holland. Supposed to be very good, but I haven't seen it. But it's available to rent everywhere, so go and see it.
This week's number 5, Playing with Fire.
Haven't seen it. Kids film.
Never heard
with
of it.
not Dave Bautista, because I'm just going to mention. It's
Grohl?
with John Cena.
Oh, that film. Right, yeah.
Yeah, about a fire station. What is interesting is
yes.
there was a film that came out a couple of months afterwards, which we reviewed, called My Spy, with Dave Bautista.
Batista, yeah.
Bautista, yeah.
Every week.
Which wasn't bad, and that has gone straight to Amazon Prime. So if you've got Amazon Prime, you can watch that for free.
Oh,
There you go.
nice.
So it hasn't
We
gone
don't.
the
No
normal
extra
route.
charge.
Sorry?
No extra charge.
No, because it's part of Prime, so they're calling it an Amazon original. It's not, obviously, because it was on at cinemas. So it's,
Right.
we're in a very strange place with rental and streaming. No one seems to know what's going on.
Yeah.
This week's number 4, Jumanji 2.
Luke, oh no, you
I've
haven't
not
seen
seen
it.
2 yet. No, not
I'm
seen 2
surprised
yet.
you haven't rushed out to rent this because of
I know.
watching the first one, which you loved.
This is
Again, this is on the PlayStation Store as well. I think it's
I
on
don't
Amazon.
have a PlayStation.
What?
I
How
thought you
much are
did.
they paying you, Toby?
I thought
This
you.
is not a free advert for PlayStation.
I thought you did, Luke.
I have a PlayStation 2. That's
Will
how...
you two stop saying PlayStation?
All right, I have an Xbox.
All right.
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's a really good follow up. Sorry. It's a really good follow up. I thought it was on Netflix as well, but maybe it's just the first one.
Yeah,
No,
the first
just the
one is
first
on
one.
there.
I think the second one might be on Amazon Prime.
No, it won't be.
The
No?
second one's not out yet because you can only pre-order on Virgin Media.
Toby, you're getting very confused by all this now. Amazon Prime, it won't be on for at least another year.
No.
Right. Okay. Well, anyway,
yeah.
overall, great follow up. Not as good as the first one. There's still a lot of jokes there. There's still a lot of action. It's still a fun film to watch.
And it's on PlayStation as well.
Yeah, and it's personally, I'd say it's more emotional than the first one as well.
Yes, no, it's brilliant. It's got a great cast, a couple of old people added to the cast, Danny Glover and Danny DeVito. Very funny. The Rock's brilliant, and it's based on a board game. And do you know who else does games? PlayStation. No,
We're not.
I just want to keep on brand
Okay, well done.
because apparently
We're
it's all
now-
about
Apparently
PlayStation.
we're branded by them now.
Yeah.
This week's number 3. Now, no one's going to give a review for this because we know what Duncan thinks. This week's number 3 is Frozen 2, and Duncan thinks.
Let it go, let it go.
This week's number 2, The Gentleman.
Oh, we are actually
Yeah,
going
no, that's
over
all you ever
Frozen
say.
2. No, that is true. It is. Let it go. Yeah.
You
I
wait
agree.
until the 16th of July, sir.
Why? What's happening on 16th of July?
Because it will be on Disney Plus then, so I can give you a review of it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to, yes.
Gentleman,
Yes.
Impression, please.
the film.
Oh, I see. The Gentleman. Yes, it's at number 2. It's Guy Ritchie's new film, going back to his British gangster roots, like he did with Lock, Stock and Snatch. Stars Matthew McConaughey and Colin Farrell, Hugh Grant, Charlie Hunnam. And basically, it's 2 hours of people going, all right, how you going to do it? I'm going to go. Oh, look at the picture. Oh, where's my drugs? Oh, get a gun, shoot him.
Every week. That's
That's it.
better.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is The Gentleman.
The
I thank you.
Gentleman.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not
You're
funny.
not a
It's not
fan,
clever.
are you?
I'm not a fan. No. It's very strange because his career has gone. He did Snatch and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, which were really good. Then he did Revolver and another one I can't remember, which were Pretty Pants. Then he did The Men from U.N.C.L.E., which was really good.
That's on
Followed that
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Are you sponsored by streaming sites this week?
No.
And then he did
sorry.
King Arthur, which was dreadful.
Oh,
and then he went to Aladdin,
Like that.
which is a bizarre change of direction for him. And now he's come back to his roots, and it's just not very good. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
Why is it awkward? He's not listening.
He might be. You don't know that.
No, he's not.
No?
If he is, I'll take him outside.
Okay, good. And this week's number one is Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Now, you must have something to say about this, Luke. Is this your quarter?
This is my quarter, but we do have a full review of it.
Oh, from whom?
Sally. I watched from Rey getting to the temple, if that's the right word for it.
Spoilers.
Sorry, spoilers. Not really. I just started shouting "Don't kiss." Spoilers.
Oh,
Because that just takes you out of it.
I forgot about that.
That just moment just like completely takes you out of it. I thought their story between these two characters that kiss just worked really nicely, and I just thought, well, then why would they just kiss? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah,
Weird.
I haven't watched it all back again.
I completely forgot about that moment.
Yeah.
I remember I was just like, don't do it.
Don't kiss.
Don't do it. Oh, okay.
And they built it up. I was like, I was like, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't. Oh, they kissed.
Oh, you know what they should have done instead of kiss?
Slapped each
They
other.
should have just got themselves a nice PlayStation game, settled down, played some GTA or something like that.
Wow, I'm surprised. Would you like a
you.
review?
I'd love one, please. Yeah.
The review is from
Sally here.
Oh,
Thank you.
Excellent.
She said about Star Wars that she really enjoyed it. Storyline was really good. She did get a bit confused by Raya,
Surprise, surprise.
or as we like to call her, Rey, and Kylo Ren communicating through the Force, even though they've done that in the other two. And nice ending for Leia, Princess Leia, and also Leia, even, and how they sort of did it, how they sort of recreated her bits from previous films.
Beg your pardon?
I was going to say.
Children,
Sorry, is the X-rated one on Disney Plus?
such a child.
The one with Ray's bits.
Move on, you child.
But I think me and Luke agree that it is not as good as The Last Jedi.
No, I need to watch it again. To be honest, I need to watch all three of them again. Force Awakens, the middle one, and
Last Jedi.
That's the one, and Rise of Skywalker.
Force Awakens is the best out of those three.
I think, yeah, out of the three, Force Awakens is the best one, and out of all the films that they've released recently, Solo or Rogue One.
Oh,
I would say Last Jedi for me.
Really?
really?
I wouldn't watch any
by a long way.
Do you know, I really enjoyed Rogue One, and I enjoyed
Yeah.
Solo as well.
No, I enjoyed Rogue One and I enjoyed Solo,
you
but
in
I
your
think
background.
Last Jedi is my favourite Star Wars film. But I wouldn't choose to watch a Star Wars film. So
Well, no, but if looking at Disney Plus on there,
Yes.
like they have all the films lined up, I wouldn't watch any of. I would probably watch Solo or Rogue One again.
I'd watch Last Jedi again.
I thought you were going to say Little and Large. That's not on Disney. It's not on Disney Plus, I don't think. Maybe on iPlayer.
Anyway, that is the home entertainment chart, top 10.
Yeah.
So we'll have that again. We will only have it again next week if it's changed significantly. Otherwise,
Okay.
we're just talking about the same ones, and people will get bored. I can't imagine that people will get bored, but we don't want people going off and playing a PlayStation instead of listening to us. On brand.
Yeah.
We've got what we've been watching coming up, in which Luke will review 5 films.
Well, they're not 5 films.
Love music, love talk, love Wycombe Sound. Wycombe Sound.
Welcome back to Monday Movies here on Wycombe Sound. You heard a trailer for Colin there. He will be here after the news at 8 o'clock, and he'll be joining us a little bit later to tell us what's coming up. I presume he is coming in, isn't he?
Yes.
Good. You sound sure.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Duncan.
All right. It is now time for...
Oh, what we've been watching. What we've been
Thank you.
watching.
So
I
professional.
need
Now,
more screens.
Toby,
Yes.
grab a drink, settle down, sit
Hang
back,
on,
relax,
There we go.
as we hand the show over to Mr. Luke Davis, who has been ploughing through films. Where would you like to start, Luke?
Well, let's start with the films that I've already seen and have rewatched. And
okay.
feel free to join in with your opinions.
We will.
I'm sure you've got some. We will start then with Hammer on Fire, as its code name was, Thor Ragnarok, which was it just before Infinity War kicked in?
Quite a bit before, I think. Before Infinity War, yes.
And
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, because...
Yes.
Oh, no, that's how it started. Anyway, it's before Infinity War. And I think it was the last one before that sort of all kicked in. And I have to say, away from Infinity War and Endgame, as the solo Marvel films, I think Thor Ragnarok is my favourite film from the Marvel saga. From the Infinity Saga. It's funny. It's different.
It is good.
It's a mixture, basically, of all the films. It's got the colour of Guardians of Galaxy in. It's got humour in it. It's very, very good.
From what I can remember, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I knew that was coming. I remember Thor Ragnarok being the kind of boost of humour, like that.
Yeah.
Marvel making that comedy kind of base in their films,
and I think they needed to do that with the Thor films, because the first two weren't
serious. They were
very
serious.
sort of Shakespearean. Because who directed the first one? Duncan.
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, of
yes.
Shakespeare land.
Yes.
So they were all very sort of kind of serious.
Yes.
Whereas these are just absolutely brilliant. Thor Ragnarok is anyway.
Well, it was written and directed, wasn't it, by Taika Waititi, who
doing
did
the
Humphrey
next one?
Wilder People. No, he's not doing the. Yes, he is doing the next one. But we'll slip in some film news while we're here.
Oh, hello.
So he is doing the next Thor one, which is called Love and Thunder, I
Correct.
think, which is going to have a female Thor.
Yes, Jane's
well.
returning.
Jane is returning. He made the Oscar-winning Jojo Rabbit.
That's what I
Yeah.
want to see. I want to see that.
Which is out to rent this week, today. And the news last week is he's now signed on to write and direct a new Star Wars film.
That's very true.
So
yeah.
that's
What about-
interesting, because the Star Wars films were getting a little bit po-faced, probably. So they needed a bit of humour.
Well, yeah.
The worrying thing is, the last time they employed somebody to make a slightly offbeat Star Wars film, they sacked them
Yeah, but
halfway through filming.
But the good thing about the new Star Wars films is they don't have to be based on Skywalker stuff. It's all clean slate.
Yes, but they employed, I forget who it was, the people who did 21 Jump Street to do Solo.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
it's still connected to Skywalker.
Yes, but then they fired them because they didn't want to do exactly what Kathleen Kennedy and
Yeah,
George Lucas
well,
wanted them to do. So
I hope now that we're away from the Skywalker saga, I hope that they're sort of a bit more open to trying new things.
well,
my-
hopefully, because
my
I think Taika Waititi is slightly more out there than
Yeah.
the guys that did 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
So I think they've got to let him have free reign. But then I don't think he would have signed on unless he's got a kind of final cut.
But
To
then
do
they,
what he wants.
they did as well, though, didn't they? They said,
I'm
"Look,
not sure if they had a final cut.
this is what we're going to do," and they went, "Yeah, all right then," and they went, "No,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a worry.
It's a worry."
But it'll be good if he gets to do it, because he
Yeah.
is absolutely brilliant. And yes, watch Jojo Rabbit. It's out to rent
Yeah.
on DVD and streaming sites from today.
Nice. Well, I look
Yeah,
forward to
it's very good.
watching that.
So that's a good one to start. Thor Ragnarok.
So then we
Good.
move on to Detective Pikachu, which I had seen. I saw both of those in the cinema, and again, really liked it. I think.
Oh, you'd already seen it in the cinema?
I've already seen Detective Pikachu. Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah, really stood up. I really enjoyed it. Ryan Reynolds is just great. Again, if he could just be any animated character in every film, I think that would be brilliant.
Did you see this one, Toby?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
You should watch it. It's good.
Is it? Where, sorry, where
It's
did you
on
watch it?
PlayStation.
It probably is on PlayStation. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, it's just really good. It's got. I think the good thing about it is that it doesn't follow the animation story. So how the stories of the TV programs went. It's a completely different story. It's based on a video game, not available on the PlayStation Store, but is available on Nintendo. But it's not. It's only based on that. It's only the characters from it. It's not the actual storyline from it. And I think it works really, really well. I think it's really, really good.
Excellent. I didn't realise you'd been to see it at the cinema, but good.
Yeah, because I answered all your questions when you went to see it.
That is correct, yes, because I knew nothing about Pikachu
Yeah.
or Detective Pikachu or Pokemon. So
But you liked it though, didn't you?
I loved it. I thought
Yeah.
it was great. It was a huge. I think I went in with really low expectations because I thought it's based on a video game. They're traditionally terrible, and
You didn't even know they were.
hilarious.
It was a TV series as well, did you?
I had no idea. It was
You
a
never
TV
heard the
series,
theme
no.
tune?
No, I'd
Wanna
never heard
be-
the theme tune.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear
The very
Sally's?
best.
Sally's got a review about this.
I'd love to. Yeah.
Yeah, found it weird that Pikachu could talk. Liked how it was different from the programs. She said you might get lost watching it, and then it was nothing special.
Oh, damning review from Sally Davis.
Is there an out of 10?
And there's no out of 10. No,
Sounded like a 3.
I was gonna say
me.
whatever it is, it's not very high.
It's not very high. No, I loved it. I thought it was surprisingly funny, really well filmed. I thought the cinematography was incredible for that kind of film.
I mean,
and the world building was very clever.
I there's a YouTube channel called the Corridor Crew, and they're all special effects artists, and they review films.
Is Steve in there?
Steve, yeah, Steve's there, and they were saying the detail on Pikachu, for example, the fur and how they've done that is amazing, because it's not just like all just clumped together. Each bit of hair has got its own life and it moves differently, and so the CGI is absolutely, because I mean most of it is I would say 50% human, 50% CGI,
Yes.
and some of
And
it
I
is all
think-
CGI.
I think it was shot on film, 35mm,
I
which
think,
gives
yeah.
it a very cinematic look, whereas
Yeah.
most films based on computer games don't look like that.
No.
So
And
yeah,
actually-
it's very good.
I would highly recommend going watching the Corridor Crew and their CGI. Are they called reactions? I think so. And
Okay.
it's like they look at a film and they because they know what it is. They'll go, oh yeah, this whole scene is CGI, and you'll be like, what? But it doesn't.
And can I access the Corridor Crew on PlayStation?
I don't know. Is there a YouTube app on PlayStation, Toby?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
there you
Good,
go
good. We
then.
can all do that. Excellent stuff. Okay, so that is Detective Pikachu, which is available on, I think, on Sky Cinema or via Virgin Movies.
Yeah, I think it was on Sky Cinema. I think it's just
Next.
it's just come out, hasn't it? I think it was one of their premieres, I believe. No,
I
it's been
don't
out
think-
ages.
No, it's been out for ages.
Yeah.
Come on.
Next we move to Venom.
Oh, one that me and Toby have both seen.
Yeah. Now I have been very, very, very critical of Sony in the past and their Spider World and series, but I have to say I think Sony got it absolutely spot on with this.
Oh.
I thoroughly enjoyed Venom,
Oh.
but I agree with you, Duncan, on that. Tom, sorry, Toby. That Tom Hardy. Is it Tom Hardy that's in it?
It is Tom
Yeah,
Hardy.
he isn't great. He's
No.
No, I found him quite annoying. But the actual story of it and the CGI, Venom is exactly how he is in the comics and in some of the TV programs. He's a little bit funny. I really enjoyed it. And
Well-
from that reaction, you two didn't. So there we go.
Oh, no.
I know. I think Toby quite liked it, didn't you? And I hated it.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. I just remember the last battle; it was so CGI heavy.
Oh,
I was
yes.
just,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was just like, oh come on! But I don't know how else to get around that. I mean,
their CGI is not
Yeah.
up to Marvel standard. At
No.
all.
no,
No.
it's the storyline's good, but yeah, the CGI wasn't the best, and I don't know. I wasn't sure the way they took it. Yeah, I don't know.
I think
I don't know.
if they brought Venom into the Marvel universe, it would be. I think they could do something better with
I
it.
think Marvel could do something with it, but
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Sony I think it was a mess. But the thing is, it actually grossed more than $1 billion worldwide.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah.
it's one of the best
Sony.
Well,
box offices of any superhero movie, let
That-
alone a Sony one.
I think that was down to their marketing, because I remember before it came, I mean, even 6 months before it came out, I was seeing it everywhere. When I went on the internet, if I saw a bus in London, literally
When you were on
everywhere.
the PlayStation.
Yeah. Everywhere was Venom. It was everywhere.
Yeah. No, good marketing, terrible film.
Yeah, it's an all right. I liked it. I didn't hate it.
Oh,
Okay.
the thing is, like, they've wrapped Venom 2,
Yeah.
and I will be going to see that. But
Yeah.
it's funny how I didn't enjoy the first one loads, but I'm still going to go and watch.
Yeah, no, I want to go and see the second one. But again,
So-
if he comes into Marvel, then you've missed. It's like Incredible Hulk. It'd be like how many people haven't seen the Incredible Hulk with whoever it was as not Mark
But
Ruffalo.
on the plus side, if it does go into the Marvel universe, they will lose Tom Hardy, and that can only be a good thing. And somebody
Do you
else
think
can
they
take the
would?
role. I would hope so.
See, I think they would
Please,
keep
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Okay. And the last one of my ones that I haven't seen before is Toy Story 4.
Oh, okay. I'll let you go on.
Oh no.
I don't think it's one of the best.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's just because I'm an adult now.
Oh, really? Are you?
No, yeah.
Why didn't you tell somebody?
I just wanted to watch. Sorry, I just wanted to
Let
watch.
us-
Why
No.
didn't you tell someone you were an adult? When did this happen?
I don't know. Well, I was
We would
watching,
have made a cake or something. Made a fuss.
well, I was watching Toy Story 4. No, it's kind of a bit like Endgame because it's all about, and I won't say what happens because it spoils the end. And I understand now why both of you weren't answering my question about how they could take it on because of what happens at the end. It's all about one character, and basically that character at the end snaps his fingers, and that's the last time you'll see of him or her.
Yes.
So I like the
But
fact.
that's a lovely thing.
I know, and I like that, and I like the fact that I would imagine out of all of the cast, that person was probably the one that didn't want to do any more. But I think the door is left open. They could quite easily make another one. It was.
Of course they could.
It was a good film.
Oh, there you go. So it's still good.
Out of
Still,
10.
out of 10, 7.
But that's still a
that's
good
very
mark,
good. Yeah,
you know.
it is.
So when you're
It
saying
is.
it's not one of the best ones, the
No,
first three are all fantastic.
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't
you know.
say I didn't say I hated it. I just said
Good.
Luke, how funny was the bit where I can't remember their names, the two new characters?
Oh, I love them. They're brilliant.
Yeah, and when they're talking about the key,
And then they do the snaps. Yeah, but that
Yeah,
was
and
my
then-
favourite bit from the trailer.
yeah, and then no, but it shows the clip of the woman.
Yes,
Remember coming in? That made me laugh so much.
that is
That was my
those two are
favourite
hilarious.
clip.
and
Yeah,
I
they
really
are.
like
They
them
are
in the
really
film.
funny.
Yeah.
No, I think I liked it more than you. I think I'll give it 8.
Okay.
And I'd give it a 9. So there you go, 7,
8.5.
an 8,
Yeah.
and a 9.
7, 8, 9.
And Toy Story is available now
Disney
on
Plus.
Disney Plus
Plus,
for
yeah.
streaming. And the
Watch
fifth
awesome.
film, Mr. Davis, if you would.
We have both watched,
Not together.
not together. No, we were over 2 meters apart. Becoming. And I saw that you had watched this, and I've got kind of a weird, not obsession, but with the Obamas, and I've been watching
you?
a lot of videos about them and reading up about them. And then
Okay.
I saw the fact that you had
Right.
watched the film. Well,
Yeah.
It's not a film; it's a documentary.
It is a film. It was going to have a theatrical
Oh,
release.
was it? Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
it's a Netflix documentary.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a feature length documentary.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. Duncan?
I did. Well, so tell people what it's about
Go on
first.
then. I've
Becoming,
done a lot
which is
of
the
talking. Go
name
for it.
of Michelle Obama's autobiography, and this follows Michelle Obama last year as she went on a book tour across America. And actually, there's a tiny scene that's in London because she came to the O2 talking about her book, and it's behind the scenes as she goes from venue to venue, and then there's some backstory about her and Barack. So
That was very confusing, that O2 bit, because it was the Secret Service talking about how the O2's got like 600 steps.
Yes, the funny
and then
thing
it was
was
like, oh, we're back in America now. I was like,
yeah,
what?
well, whenever they went anywhere, they said, Chicago, Illinois,
Yeah.
whatever. When they were in London, they never put up a thing saying we're in London. They
It
just
was-
mentioned that they're going to the O2.
It was only one scene and then straight back to America. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's not the O2.
No, I think you're getting hung up on tiny details.
Sorry.
Okay, so I thought it was It was nice.
Yeah.
She comes across as the kind of person you'd want to sit down and have a drink with.
Yeah.
She comes across as a lovely person, really nice, really intelligent.
Is there a
I mean,
button there?
when you
I feel
consider,
like I'm waiting for the butt.
Yeah.
no,
yeah,
I mean, when you consider what's in the White House at the moment,
Yeah.
this looks like two people from a different era. It just, not just 8 years ago. This
No.
4 years ago. This looks like decades ago.
4
It's
years ago.
completely different. Sorry.
Was that only 4 years ago?
Yeah, not quite 4 years.
No.
Yeah. My only problem with it, here comes the bar.
Here comes the bar.
My only problem with it is that it's produced by the Obama's own production company, and so
Oh, okay.
there is
Right.
nothing in it that is going to be in any way detrimental to her, or there's nothing scandalous, and it's because it's their production company
Yeah.
and they've made something which is a product and which is basically going to be used to sell her book again when it's in paperback.
But then
So
the book's been out for ages, and this is only just
yeah,
out.
yeah,
We're
but
trying-
Well,
you can always sell books.
Well,
Release
You
the
can
book,
always
wait
sell
for it,
books.
and then documentary.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I just think if it had been somebody else making the documentary, an outside party who was given access, you may have seen something more. And I imagine there may have been stuff that was cut out because they didn't want it in. I'm not saying she's a horrible person and they're cutting out anything like
No.
that. I just think it was hardly warts and all.
Do you mean they would ask more like difficult questions? Is that what you mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
there was nothing. There was,
No.
the closest you get to seeing her not being as nice as you think she is when her brother questions why she's wearing a belt so high on a dress.
Oh yeah.
And she just gets a tiny little bit tetchy. And I just think if it had been a documentary made by an outside party, you would have got a more realistic view of her. I'm not saying she's not the nicest person in the world. She probably is. But I would have liked to have seen somebody else's take on it. But having said that, it was still very enjoyable.
No.
And she does come across as a lovely person.
I know what you mean. There will be, because I can remember when Obama was doing his goodbye interviews, and like people were asking him, what was your biggest disappointment, or what was the one thing you regret? There wasn't anything like that in the the film.
No, it's very safe. It's not going to upset any Obama supporters at all. But it's still very enjoyable. It's called Becoming. Hello, what's
Hello.
that?
It's Toby's.
Are you playing the xylophone?
No, sorry.
It's Toby's email from Sony.
Your free PlayStation is on its way to you now. That is Becoming. It's on Netflix. It's available to stream right now. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with some more what we've been watching and some film news.
Yes, we
Will.
Will.
Love music, love talk, love Wycombe Sound.
Nights here on Wycombe Sound 106.6 FM. It is 17 minutes to 8 after the news at 8. Colin will be here with Chatsworth and he joins us now. Good evening, Colin.
Hooray!
Good evening. Thank you for this warm applause.
How are you? Mine was cold, but it's fine.
Mine was lukewarm.
Lukewarm.
Of course it was.
Thank you.
And Toby's was on a PlayStation.
Virtual.
Virtual.
Of course.
Yeah.
Colin, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How is lockdown? Well, lockdown life doesn't apply to you because you're a key worker, so you've been out and about, haven't you, all the time?
I don't know about all the time. I'm at home currently.
But you've been travelling into work.
Occasionally.
Yes. And now your journeys are going to get busier and busier, aren't they? Because other people are going to be travelling into work. How annoying for you.
Yes, I might have to wear a face covering, maybe a full face covering. Perhaps that should be suggested.
Well, we were talking about this on Drive Time, were we not, Luke?
Oh, I have an update on that.
About face cover. Because I said, obviously Boris has now suggested, he's not telling us we've got to, he's suggested wearing a mask when you go to shops and possibly into on public transport. Where do I get a mask from?
Let me help you there.
Oh, good.
There's a post on the High Wycombe page, and there are local companies that are doing it. And it's the people that are doing the Wycombe Wanderers ones.
Right.
So, and they're actually quite cool ones. They're not just like one colour, but you can have them all different. You can have a leopard print one if you want.
I don't. I just want a plain white mask.
But if you have a look on the High Wycombe page, there is a
Yes.
there's a whole list of them.
Excellent. Thanks for that.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you. Anyway, Colin, Chatsworth tonight. 8. Who have you got on?
Well, I was going to be in line with recent things that I've been listening to and just not answer the question very well. But
Yeah, just waffle for 5 minutes and don't actually tell us who's on. That's right.
well, Duncan, it's a program, as you know. Every week, it's a weekly program. Every week, the program. Oh, what's on? Sorry.
That was quite good.
That was
thank
very
you.
good.
I saw earlier Boris Johnson speaking in the House of Commons. The speaker essentially told him to hurry up because he'd
I
gone
saw
over his
that
10
as well,
minutes.
yeah.
So,
Colin, just answer the question. What's wrong with you?
so to answer the question correctly, we'll be chatting to stand-up comedian Simon Owen, who's from Full Frontal Comedy, who did monthly events at Eton. Or in Eton, should I say. We'll be chatting to him. And also here I got on chatting to Sean Walsh. Another chance to hear our chat with him. As his tour came to Wycombe, as his recent new tour has been rescheduled for the autumn/spring.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Colin. That's Chatsworth with Colin after the news tonight at 8 o'clock. Have a good show, Colin.
Thank you very much.
fantastic.
Have a good rest of your programme.
We'll do our best. If only we could play a song to use up some time, but no, we just have to keep talking. So, but it's
what the best
fine.
politicians do.
Oh, you didn't actually want a song. Okay.
No, why were you playing Ghostbusters?
It's
of
the
all
first
things?
one I had. It was movie
Anyway.
related.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Colin.
Right,
You've been a great crowd.
we have, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's finish off what we've been watching. Toby, are you
Yes.
still there? By the way,
What have you been
excellent.
watching?
Have you been
I am.
watching?
So I've watched a little bit more of Black Mirror.
Oh.
And I've
Did you
seen
watch the episode that I recommend you watch straight away?
I will do by next week. How's that? But
Ever?
no, I watched an episode called Archangel where the a lady has a daughter, and then they implant her with a kind of bug, I guess. Well, it's a tracking device, but also she can access her memories and she can access her like a live feed from her eyes to this iPad, and she can track where she is. But basically, she can watch everything her daughter does, where she goes, where she's all the time, and it, you know, and also she can fade out anything traumatizing. So, for example, when she walks to school, there's a dog that's quite violently like barks at her, and she can literally blur it out and blur out the sounds. So obviously over time, everything traumatizing and stressful gets blurred out. And then when they do take that off, she obviously gets really stressed because this is the first time she's seeing bad things. But anyway, I thought it was a really, really interesting episode, and they kind of put the iPad away, and then when she gets a bit older, she starts obviously staying out later and lying about where she's going, and the mum gets the iPad back out and has a look. But I won't say any more. But yeah, I thought it was a really interesting episode. I thought that was really good. And also I've watched...
Did you notice who directed it?
Was it you?
No.
I'm pretty sure that episode is directed by Jodie Foster.
It is. You're right. It is.
There you go. Yes.
So, yeah. And the other thing I watched was a film called Fool's Gold, which I haven't seen. So it came out in 2008, so 12 years ago, and I haven't seen it since. Stars Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson, and it's directed by Andy Tennant, I think. Yes, Andy Tennant, who also directed Hitch, so he does, a few comedies and things.
So bad films.
But it's good. It's not as I didn't enjoy it as much as I did when I first watched it. But it's kind of about a couple who have a divorce and then they kind of rekindle their relationship through finding this treasure. But it's got quite a few familiar faces in it. Ray Winston's in it. Kevin Hart's in it. I mean, overall, it's not bad, but it's not incredible.
Duncan's
But
bored.
yeah,
Sorry.
and that's on Netflix now.
We've had a message on Facebook.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
If it's something about my beard, I'm not interested.
It's not. No. People have only been commenting about Toby's hair. Evening, Rob. Rob says hi.
Oh, is that it? Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Okay.
thought, okay. No comments.
No comments.
Oh, okay.
Saying
Good.
anything.
Good. We should be thankful for that.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, Fool's Gold available on Netflix. A couple of things that I've watched loads of stuff, but I'm just going to go to Upload, which is a new American series on Amazon Prime. Which, if you've watched The Good Place on Netflix, which neither of you have, despite my recommendations, you should. It's kind of like this feels like the precursor to that, and then they perfected everything that they wanted to get right and made The Good Place, because this is not great. It's about what happens when you die and your consciousness can be uploaded to a virtual world.
Oh, right.
But then you have to pay to stay there, and other people pay and upload gigabytes. And what you can do in the virtual world depends how many gigabytes has been paid for. And it's about one of the uploaded souls who falls in love with his angel, which is the person on Earth who looks after the uploaded character. And it kind of wants to be a comedy, a romance, a drama, and a thriller, and none of it really works. And obviously, The Good Place went on to become a really good comedy, and that's what they should have done with this. It's an interesting idea that's not particularly well executed.
Rob said he watched Sergio on Netflix and loved it.
Never heard of that. What's
Okay,
Sergio?
Doesn't say that. He just says he loves it, whatever it is.
Well, could you find that out
I
while we
will
do the next
have
thing?
a
Thank you.
search.
Never heard of Sergio. The other thing I've been watching, and this isn't very me, and normally I wouldn't have even started watching it, but I've been watching Gangs of London on Sky Atlantic, which is a British gangster series. Normally not my kind
really?
Normally not my kind of thing, until I found out that it was written. Most of it was written and it was created by Gareth Evans, who was a Welsh filmmaker who's lived in Thailand for the last few years and made the two Raid films, which are ultra-violent martial arts films. So this is the story of Joe Cole, Sean Wallace, played by Joe Cole, who is the son of the main gang leader of London, who was played by Cole Meany. In the first episode, he is killed by two young gypsy lads, shot dead in cold blood while visiting his mistress in a block of flats. And the family and all the other crime families that work with them want to find out who did it and why, because obviously the two boys were hired by somebody, and they want to find out who and find out why he was killed, which is kind of a very standard, generic British gangster thing.
Yeah.
But what marks this out from anything else is the action scenes, which are spectacular in their choreography. The opening fight scene in a pub, which uses an glass ashtray, which ends up embedded in someone's mouth halfway into their head.
Nice.
Goes on for about 5 minutes. Then there's another action scene with a meat cleaver in a basement, which even I was looking away.
Is this what you said last week, Clinton stopped watching?
Yeah, halfway through the first opening episode, which is a feature-length episode, he says, "I can't watch this. It's just too much." This is the most violent thing I think I've ever seen on normal television.
Wow.
That's not a film.
Is it an 18?
It's on TV,
Right.
so it's not rated.
Okay.
So, well, yes, if it was on a film, it would be rated 18.
Yeah.
Right.
And then some. It's possibly, yes, it is the most violent thing I've seen. And because of the way he films it, it's very good. Gareth Evans, if you've never seen The Raid or The Raid 2, you should, because they are brilliant martial arts action films. And he brings his martial arts sensibility to this. And the way he films the fight scenes is just incredible. And the use of props. And it's almost balletic. It's almost like a dance. It's so good. but ultra violent. And the big scene at the end of episode 2, which is an attack on the Gypsy caravan park, is just an orgy of gunfire and actual fire. It's incredible.
Would you like to know about the film that Rob's been watching?
Yeah,
So it's about a man. Can you guess what his name is?
Sergio.
Well done. Must fight for his life. He's a UN diplomat. He must fight for his life when a bomb blast causes the walls to come crashing down. Apparently, Rob just put it on Facebook. It's based on a true story.
Okay.
And that's on Netflix.
Yeah. Got nobody famous in it at all.
No,
How strange.
you'll have to watch it.
I'll add it to my list.
Add it to
But
your
does he said it's any good though?
He
just
loved
said
it.
he's watching
He said he loved it.
Oh, okay. All right then.
And you and Rob have never, disagreed on films. So,
Have we not?
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man. He liked Bohemian Rhapsody. You liked Rocket Man.
Oh yeah, because he's wrong.
Exactly. Yeah,
We agree on this, don't we?
we do agree on this.
Rocket Man is the superior film.
Yeah. Do you agree,
Yeah.
Toby?
If I had to
Yes.
pick one, I'd pick Bohemian Rhapsody.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
But that's. I think that's because I prefer Queen to.
Is that because you weren't cut
So
from...
do I, though.
Is that because you weren't cut from
interesting.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that.
We've not got long left, so very quickly
Okay.
we won't review them. But the new digital releases that are out
yeah.
today:
go.
Bombshell, the political drama starring Nicole Kidman and Margot Robbie; Bad Boys 3, which me and Toby were both
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised with, weren't we?
Good. Yeah. Very good. I would
good.
highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of action, a lot of comedy.
Yeah,
Good
and
fun.
Greta Gerwig's new version of Little Women is out. Those are digital to buy only, not to rent just yet. And new as a physical release on DVD and to rent on digital, Jojo Rabbit.
Yay.
One of the best
There you
films
go.
of last
I
year.
wanna watch
So
that.
please, you're going to rent that and watch it, aren't you?
I will. Yeah, that and 1917 as well. Oh,
Yes.
Rob's just.
1917 isn't
yes.
available to rent until next week.
Oh, okay, well I'll wait a week.
Okay,
Rob said Rocket Man is growing on him slowly.
Good.
About time too.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
He's seen the light. Very quickly, some film news. With lockdown measures in the UK likely to be relaxed over the coming weeks, it's still unclear just how cinemas will fare in whatever the new normal looks like. It's likely they'll be reopened gradually and that admissions will be restricted, but quite when that remains to be seen. Although, since I've written that little bit, we found out that July the 4th is now the earliest
Possibly,
that
yeah.
cinemas will be allowed to open. View Cinemas boss Tim Richards has revealed that he's looking towards a July reopening for his sites. It's like he knew,
He knew.
which is when the next two big Hollywood blockbusters are scheduled for opening. That's Disney's Mulan and Christopher Nolan's Tenet. Now, Christopher Nolan's Tenet is interesting because that's going to be one of the biggest films of the year. It's not a film that could be released on streaming, and Christopher Nolan would never let it be released on streaming anyway.
No.
And it's Christopher Nolan who is refusing to move his date. He is insisting that it stays on the opening week of July.
Do you think if cinemas reopen in July, we'll see films be moved back earlier?
Can you hear that?
I can hear that. Yeah.
I can.
So it's my phone. Just 1 second. I've got to.
That's how rude. Do you think, Toby? Do you think they would?
I don't
Or do you
know.
think they'll
I don't
leave
know.
him?
I mean, to be honest, I kind of want to know why Christopher
Do
Nolan...
apologise for that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just want to know why Christopher Nolan really wants to stick to that date.
Because he doesn't
I
like
don't
streaming
know.
sites,
He
does
just-
he?
No, but
It's not
even
that
if
he
it gets
doesn't
pushed
want
back
to.
in cinemas. What?
Yeah,
he
he
just doesn't want
could-
the hassle.
Yeah, he could push it
He
back.
can't
but
be
he's not.
bothered.
But the thing that Mulan and Tenet are going to show to people is what a new box office is going to look like. Because with social distancing, a cinema that holds 200 people will probably only be able to hold 40 or 50 people.
I imagine
the
they'll
box
do what-
office, a big box office is going to be actually a small box office.
I'd imagine they'll do what the House of Commons is at the minute. They've got only one row behind, so every other road is blocked off. You don't have people sat right next to you.
I
interesting.
also
Yeah,
I think, yes, there'll be less people in the room, but I also think I don't think that many people will be wanting to go to the cinema.
No, exactly.
No.
Except for
so it'll
Duncan.
be interesting to see. Except for me, I will go with my mask, obviously. But it'll be interesting to see how many they will let in and what a box office is going to be. Because for a film like Tenet, which is cost like $200 million to make, it's going to struggle to make its money back in a world where you can only have 50 people in a cinema. Although, of course, cinemas in America have started opening already.
Yeah.
But that's because people are wandering around with guns saying, we want our freedom. They're acting like Mel Gibson in Braveheart. saying we want our freedom. You can take our coronavirus, but you can't take our hair dye, because they all want
That's
to have
the
their
one,
hair
yeah.
done. And so it's very strange. Anyway, yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see.
It'll be interesting.
Who knows? And
Open in 2 months.
it might not even be 2 months. It could all change.
If there's a spike in the next couple of weeks, then we go back to square one. It's like a game of snakes and ladders.
Don't fall down the ladder.
we just go. No, you fall down a snake. You go up the ladder, down a snake.
It's been a long time since I played Snakes and Ladders. Can you tell?
There is some more film news, but we'll talk about that next week because we're running out of time, because Tom Cruise is going into space to make a film. Of course he is. But we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. But that's roughly it for this week.
Don't forget about the podcast and the visual podcast on YouTube.
The podcast is available, or will be available in a couple of days' time, from Google Play Store, Spotify, iTunes, and Radio Player,
And YouTube.
And YouTube, if you would like to see us in all our Technicolor and blonde glory, that would be lovely. We'll be back next week to talk about, again, we don't know what until nearer the time, but we'll fill the hour with something. Won't we?
Yes.
Yes, we will. Luke, you'll be back tomorrow for Drive Time from 4 till 7. Toby, 12-Hour Avenue's new single is available now from all good streaming sites.
Thank you very much.
Search it out, because it is
Called
very
Worth
good.
the Days.
Even if people on Twitter think he's spam. Luke and Toby, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Duncan.
Duncan.
I'll be back next week, same time with these two, and again on Sunday for Sunday breakfast from 8 till 10. But now, with the time coming up to 8 o'clock, it's time to go over to the Sky Newsroom for the latest national and international news headlines. You're listening to Wycombe Sound online, on Radio Player, and on 106.6 FM.
National and international news.